Welcome back, guys. Another episode. In this one, I'm going to take the headstock bearings out, show you how to take those races out, because I am replacing them, and the one underneath, and also show you how to get the lower race off of that yoke, off of that steering head stem, whatever you want to call it, triple tree. So I will be replacing those. So yeah, let's crack on with that. So we'll take the I'm going to spray this up as well when we get this off, so that'll be look a bit nicer. So it needs to be in the vise, and again we're using, it's just a pin punch, and it's got a, I don't know whether you can see that, but it's just like a chisel point end, but not sharp. It's rounded at the end, but it's just a bit stronger than the screwdriver, that's all. And then just get behind the back of the oil seal, sorry, dust seal at the bottom, and then just sharp shock, and it should just move. Yeah, there it goes. It's going now. That's it. Just to a flat-ended, flat-faced punch, just so it doesn't chop through. I'm going to put a new seal on anyway, so it doesn't matter, but so it doesn't chop through the seal. And then you need to go from the underside as well, from both sides. Let me turn that around, you might be able to see that a bit better. That's it. So fairly straightforward. I just put the nut on the top. It's always a good tip, put your nut back on the top, saves you bashing the thread, and then you're in a world of pain trying to clean the threads up. Right, so there's the bottom bearing shell off, and the bottom seal, which is clearly mullered, so I'll order a new one of those. So now I'm just going to give this a clean up. Right, I'll get that over onto the wire wheel on the grinder, bench grinder. Yeah, there you go. You can see that's cleaning that up nicely. So I'll do this off camera and come back to you, and we'll show you progress. There we go. That's about 20 minutes on here. So that is ready for I'll give it a bit of a degrease, mask it up, and get that painted. So as promised, we'll knock out these bearing shells as well, just using just a piece of tube actually, so just long enough to go all the way through. And what there is, let's see if I can show you, I don't know whether you will. So when you look down there, no, I don't think you'll see it, but on the on this side and this side, and that's for the bottom one and the top one, there's actually a cutout in the aluminium. Might be able to show you with this tube. So if I pass the tube up the inside, it's there. If I come further round, there's nothing to hit on. When you go around to, shall we say 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, you've got this little cutaway. I'll demonstrate what the advantage of that is right now. I mean, I've done other bikes before where they don't have that, and it's a real pain. There you go, out. There's the top race, and then the same for the bottom one. off your fitted shells, bearing races from the headstock. Right, so you've just seen that's clean. I'm going to do the top as well, the top yoke. Right, a few days have passed and I've been busy beavering away, sanding, and so there's the top yoke, triple tree, whatever we're calling it. I've rubbed it down, masked it all off and given it a nice coat of satin black, and there's the bottom yoke, headstock. That's another good rub down and clean up job. I've got new top nut because that was starting to go rusty, so I managed to source a new actual genuine one of those. There's the old headstock bearings, there's the new taper race headstock bearings, so let's get them fitted. Right, start off with this top race taper bearing. Just going to put a bit of grease in the bore. And on the outer race shell, like so, and then just use a mallet to start with, just to try and get that started. Trick is to keep it level. That's level with the top of there now. Then I'm thought I might try using the old race that used to go in there, mainly because I would normally use a socket, but that's the biggest socket I've got, and it's going to hit on the working surface of the bearing. Whereas if we put that there, then that on top, that nicely bridges it. And just slowly work that in. Check it, see how level it is. Maybe if I try it without the socket, hold your fingers. I think that is all the way down. Same with the bottom race, just a little bit more difficult, bit grease. Just more difficult, sorry, because you're working upside down. Again, using the old race that was in there from the original head race bearings, headstock bearings. Just keeping an eye on it, making sure it's level, and making sure I don't hit my hand. Tell by the sound, I think that's pretty much there. Grab a torch. Yeah, there's a little bit more to go there. Pretty sure that's it, but I will just give it another whack at the corner. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's in. Right, now for the lower one, it goes on the actual stem. We've got a new seal with that, with those bearings. It was a kit I bought came everything included. Bit of grease on there. Bit of grease on the stem at the bottom where the bearing fits. Slide that in position. I'll grease this after we get it on in the actual bearings. Just put a little bit in the bore. Sorry, you can't see that. There you go. Just putting a bit of grease on in the bore of that. And the bottom. Slide her on. Right, I'll just grab a piece of tube. Right, now for this bottom one. I was going to use some tube, but it's too long. I don't have really anything that's sufficient, so hammer and a punch small enough just to hit on the fixed part, not the moving part, and then just work your way around and you'll feel it moving, which it is. There we go, we're there. It's all the way down. So we can load that up with a bit of grease now. Really force it in there so it gets inside that outer cage. Don't worry about getting it everywhere, you can clean up afterwards. That's plenty. Okay, let's put the headstock back in. As we're done, greased it all, put some grease in here, grease on the top bearing, and I fitted the new seal on there. Slot that in, push the bearing in, and it's this large castellated nut with the washer fitted. It's a big dust washer. Just wind that down by hand until you get rid of all that movement there. Right, if I back that off a little bit, you can hear that. Still a little bit of up and down movement. Nothing now. What I like to do is just get a rag, because my hands are greasy, put a little bit of pressure on, so I know they're pulled right in now. There's a little bit of resistance on there, so back it off a touch, and that's just about right. That no play up and down or in and out, but it's also not overloading them bearings. Tab washer, which is in a bit of a mess but still usable. Stick that in there. Top nut, which is the locking nut. Again, wind that down. It will compress that tab washer once we get a punch on it. Hammer and punch. Tighten that down. Making sure we don't let the bottom ones tighten up anymore. It just moved a bit then. If I just knock it back, just work the two, and keep checking the amount of resistance you've got on those bearings. We're just trying to now locate one of these tabs with the gaps in the nut. Yeah, that's spot on that. Just a bit of resistance, no movement, and the tab's lined up, which that's bent the tab in on that one there. Then next job is the top yoke. That just slide on here, fit nice on there. I've got a nice new top nut. I made a washer to go on there as well. Whether I need it, I don't know. It didn't have one as standard, but it just saves it, the bottom of this washer picking up, damaging the paint. I won't be tightening this right now. I've got to get the forks in first, but I haven't done those yet. That's next episode. I'll be doing the forks. So I'll just put that in so nothing can fall apart. Yeah, so looks pretty good. Right, I reckon that's enough for this episode. Quite happy with how those look. So yeah, join me in the next one where we'll be looking at the forks, change the seals on the forks, and give them a little cosmetic spruce up. Thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.